Hello everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. How are you today?
Good.
Sallie. Welcome. So here we are again, day 2 of this amazing live streams that we're doing on UX. We just saw the amazing Jessica and Claude doing great work there. So now we're gonna continue to see the great work that Sallie is doing. So how's it going? How's your day yesterday? Any learnings? Any good things?
Yeah, I felt like I learned all these cool tricks from you. So that was awesome.
Keep it coming. Keep sending me that. Yeah.
Yeah, pretty easy, and it was like so easy to pick up, which was really nice.
Awesome. And I see you made a little bit more progress there, right? Like I see some new components. And again, guys, if you have questions, please ask. We're here for you. Any questions on XD? Any questions on how she designs all these great experiences? So can you tell us what's happening there?
Yeah, so I kind of pumped out the user flow a little bit last night. I just kind of cleaned it all up. I had initially like 12 different screens,
but
I didn't even get to them yesterday, so I just figured to keep it down to 7 would be smart. So yeah, right now I just kind of have like a welcome kind of page, and then it goes into the initial like home page, and then results, and this would be the longer more detailed description page of like each hike, and then kind of a map feature going on, and then I love navigation, so I built out a side navigation and kind of like a search example.
Wonderful.
And then I even put, I'm so excited, this was like the big point of making that hiking app, was adding some sort of like downloadable feature so that you could have all that information when you lose Wi-Fi.
When you're offline, yeah, that's great, yeah.
So
that's very important.
Yeah.
That tends to happen when you're
right?
out there, yeah.
It's not a good situation when you're
You need
lost.
a map and it doesn't work, yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. So tell me a little about the app. Like, what's the concept, especially for people that are joining us right now? Hey, Julia. Hey, Mateos. Yeah. So
So that app is kind of the idea of having, kind of bridging the gap between like a paper map and then having like a digital map, and also being able to have, kind of be able to search for hikes within your area where you live, and having like all the kind of information there, like if there's a waterfall, or if
you can die here or there, don't go there.
yeah, or how hard it is. Like, is this a good idea for you to...
I'm 60 years old and I need to do this like crazy hike. Yeah. That's good. That's a good point.
Or even like alternate routes if some things are closed off or stuff like that, like different ways to navigate around it.
Wonderful. That's great. All right, so let's keep seeing the progress there. And I see you have a pattern library on the left there, your symbols, not only like your like individual elements, but also like some organisms, like components that are grouped together. For example, this one is like the
search kind of.
Yeah, the top part. And then if you change one, it updates everywhere. You have your colors there. Cool. So let's make more progress there. And guys, if you have suggestions, if you want to, Michael is saying he loves wireframes. Awesome. Yeah. So keep sending us feedback. You can really influence how the design evolves here, and let's keep doing this. And if you have questions on XD, please let us know. So let's see there, Ryan, hi. Julia, hi. Neil, I may create an app on how to create an app. That's good. That'll help a lot of people. I'd like to see that and provide feedback too. And how is XD behaving for you so far? Is it?
It's been good. It's been easy to pick up and pretty simple. So.
Smart simple, right? Like it has a lot, like especially like the pen tool that does all those, like you don't need to switch to a different tool to add anchor points and all of that. Hey Nathan, happy to have you here too. Oh, there's questions on this side today. Let's see. Is XD pixel or vector based? Kevin is asking that question. XD is is a design tool based on this concept of a virtual pixel, vector based, of course, because you have all the vectors that can scale there, but the really power comes when you have to export assets. And you can tell XD when you export assets that you're designing at 1x, or you're designing at 2x, or if you're designing at 1x and you need assets 1x, 2x, and 3x, you can do that as well. So it's smart enough to generate those assets. So it's based on pixels. You can see rectangles and things as pixels, but you can export them as 1x, 2x, 3x, depending on what you need. Nicole, it's simple and better, less complicated. Thank you, thank you. Hey Nathan, hello. Nathan Paul, hello. Joe is asking, is there a way to create a navigation on an artboard where I can show it on any other artboard? Good question. I think the short answer is you can create symbols and you can reuse that symbol everywhere, and then you need to have connections for your interaction. So if your symbol takes the user to another artboard as a prototype, you can copy and paste that interaction from, let's say you designed the first artboard. Let me show you that in action. So can I show my screen here? So maybe that's I can show that in action. All right, so I'll create two artboards. This will be artboard A, and I'll center this guy here, and I can then copy, paste here. This will be artboard B, and I'll have a button here that will be, let's see, that kind of blue, and I'll center that. And let's say I want both artboards A and B taking the user to artboard C. So what you can do is, once you have this finished, you can, let's say it's a group of elements, it's like two different elements, like your header or something. You can then select both, convert that to a symbol. Let me center. Then you can go to prototype mode and you can say, okay, this takes the user to artboard C, and then you can copy and paste this here, and as you can see, that interaction came with it, so you preserve that interaction. And then on artboard C, I can design another button or something that will behave as a button. Let's see, like something like that, light green. And this one, I can go to prototype mode, and this one will take me to the previous artboard. So no matter if it was A or B taking me there, both will take me to the previous artboard. So for example, I can click on play here. So if I click there, it'll take me to artboard C, and if I click here now, it'll take me to the previous artboard. In my case, it was A. But then if I go to artboard B, and if I click there, when I go back to my previous artboard, that previous artboard is artboard B. So I hope that answers your question. And make sure you finish your connections before you start using the symbol, so that that connection will go as you copy and paste elements. Can you go back to Earth? All right.
So I'm just kind of starting to mess with like a color palette
nice.
that I want to use. Yeah. I have one question. I was like pulling in this and trying to do like an eyedropper tool, but it just kept watch, like when I eyedrop it, it changes the whole
because
thing.
you have it selected.
Oh, okay.
So it's changing the whatever you have selected. So you have to, for example, what do you want to use it as, or just you want the color before you draw anything, right? So you can do like the rectangle tool. Then you design that rectangle. Then you go to the eyedropper. Because you had it selected and you was changing it based on your selection.
Okay. That makes sense.
This is a great way of like creating a design system, and colors is like the beginning of any design system. So that's great to see, and you can use the asset panel to save those colors and reuse overall. That's great.
Yeah.
Let's see if there are more questions there. Nathan, I have a question when XD will have color profile management, because on a calibrated wide gamut monitor I have oversaturated colors like in Chrome. That's a good question. I think different than print, you really rely on hex code, for example, for colors on screen, so that varies from screen to screen. So I wouldn't say that is a problem. I would say like make sure you test your work in different screens. Again, this is different from print. Okay, Joy Deep is asking, what's the contest for today? Great segue. So we have the same contest that we have yesterday. So same topic, same theme, right? So you have to design at least 3 screens, 1 prototype. You can see there, Talon, our lead designer on XD, is designing and now prototyping, creating the prototypes. 3 screens. The theme is shopping, and make sure you create that. Then you go to the Share Online button on the top right. Then you create a link. Then once it's done and anyone can give you feedback, you can copy that link. Then you go to Twitter and you share that link using the hashtag Adobe Live. And I'll be tracking that here, and we're gonna select all the ones created during this window, this 2-hour window that we're doing. And then in the end, Michael and Sallie will select a winner like we did yesterday. And the winner takes 1 year of CC all the apps for 1 year. Great deal, great prize. So yeah, please keep it coming. Thanks, Gus, for clarifying that. Yes, theme is still shopping. Perfect. Joe, is there a way to set some parameters and setting as default as we do in design for export? I don't want to stroke ever. Yeah, we're doing the work for like remember the last used settings, and that will come eventually. It's in our roadmap. Just will come later. Nathan, Joy Deep again. Is there any hover options in prototype mode? Not yet, but you can go to adobeXD.uservoice.com, and there you can upvote on that. States, hover, all that as feature requests, and as soon as we have more progress on those things as we build XD, then you'll be able to be notified and use that. So that's coming. That's definitely in the roadmap. It will end sometime next year. Nathan Pohl, yes, but on Photoshop, is everything okay on sRGB? And I'm designing an all UI, UP, and web designs on Photoshop. There's no colors destroyed. XD have no color profile like Chrome. This is the minus. Yeah, thanks for the feedback. And again, if you want to provide more details on that, like your screenshots, all this expected behavior that you want in XD, please go to user voice, adobeXD.uservoice.com, file new feature request, add all these details like your workflow in Photoshop, and I'm sure we're gonna tackle that, and we're gonna, if more people want that created, we can totally do more work there as well. Cool. All right, let's see here if you have questions. Neil is Israel first. How define the grade bootstrap? Again, I was showing that some companies. Can I show my screen again, please? So far, we don't have. Let me just open this project. So far, we don't have layout grade. We have a basic grade, but we're working on this feature called layout grade, and you can upvote that on user voice. But some companies are using a regular repeat grade. In this case, boosted boards, like they used XD to create a new section of the website. And here you can see they use the repeat grade. and they locked it, so it's locked, and they can design on top of it. So just make sure you bring that in, and you can lock. Same thing with guides. If you need guides, you can draw a line, and then you can lock it, and everything will snap to it. Another thing you can do is activate the grid that's out there. So you can select the artboard by clicking on its title, activate the grid here, and let's say you want a grid 64 pixel grid, or 44, or 32, and then you can draw on top of it, and everything will snap to that grid as well as you design. Cool. How's it going?
Good. Oh, do you have all the names for the app? Because I think that's something.
Yeah, let's see that.
That would be good to.
All right, so that's a good idea. Yesterday we were asking for you guys to come up with names for her app, and can I see my screen very quickly? These are the names that we came up with, you guys came up with, and I saved them here. So if you have more suggestions, please send us. I think let's make a decision now.
Yeah, or even if you like one and you wanna,
yeah.
Or even if there's one that you like best, let us know, cause I don't know. I'm kind of.
Let's see what happens in the next 5 minutes there in the chat, and we will pick one. You'll pick one.
Yeah, or you guys can pick one.
Oh, totally. So one thing that I just saw there that's great, use that light grain in the background, and XD gives you via asset panel a way to save that. And let's say later on you want to change it to a blue or a red, you can just right click on that color on the asset panel here, and you'll find all instances of that you can edit. The first option, and then if you move to a different color, it'll change everywhere in your document where that color is present.
Gotcha.
So that's if you have, for example, a different color,
just
I'm not saying you have to do it just to show it,
yeah.
You see it's changing everywhere.
Can I Command Z?
Yeah, you can click outside and then Command Z. Perfect.
Okay.
Yeah.
One thing I thought was interesting too is I was adding colors up here, but it didn't automatically replicate.
Yeah, that's different. That's the color picker. So you can save colors to the color picker if you want to, but that's a way of saving a swatch. If you really want to make something more global to the document, then you can add it to the asset panel, and then if you change one here, it'll change everywhere in your document. If you delete one there, for example, nothing happens with the document.
Got it. So I can't really edit these or change these.
No.
Okay.
The only way to do that is by adding it here and editing it here.
Gotcha. Okay.
It's a different way. So let's see, Roadster, Bigfoot, Peak or Hiked, Peekaboo.
Bigfoot.
Peekaboo, that's fine.
Bigfoot.
Let's see there. Wayday. Pathfinder. What do you think?
Bigfoot. Everyone wants Bigfoot.
I think you have a winner.
I don't know. I feel like Bigfoot though is just something that would be to the West Coast.
Yeah.
So.
There's another one Roadster.
Roadster. I like Hikr with a no E.
This one?
Yeah.
What do you guys think of that? Can we go with it? Tracker, Ryan say tracker.
Tracker. That's a good one too, actually.
Tracker, let's add that in. That's how he spelled it. Yeah, tracker.
Road surfer.
Road surfer.
I feel like that's a skate. That'd be like a longboarding.
Yeah. Cool.
Do you like anyone?
I like Hikr a lot.
Hikr?
Yeah.
Let's do Hikr.
All right, so we have a winner. Hikr it is. Thanks, guys, for all the feedback and suggestions.
Cool. And I like that it's 4 letters in all caps because you can play around.
It looks like a very cool startup, right?
Yeah.
It's going to get millions in funding and it will be very successful.
Yeah.
All right.
Cool.
Let's do it. Hikr it is.
Awesome.
And I'll keep my eyes here in the chat. Any questions, guys? Any problems? Joe, is there a way to set some parameters and settings as default as we do with InDesign for exporting? The short answer for that is no. You have to go. Can I show my screen very quickly? For example, let's say you want to export this button. You have to go to File, Export, and here you can pick some options. So you can export that as a PNG, and for PNG you have some options. Design, it will give you an asset at 1x. If you pick Web, it will give you assets at 1x and 2x. iOS will give you assets at 1x, 2x, and 3x. And Android will give you all the different assets in different sizes here for the Android platform. You can also pick SVG, and this will give you an SVG. If you happen to have an image in your SVG, you can embed that image as base64 code in the tag, or you can link the PNG to the SVG. So it'll give you the SVG and the PNG. And you can even optimize the file size to minify it, so it'll be like all the words will be like letters, and it'll be less text to download faster. And you can also do a PDF, so you can export that asset as a PDF or multiple assets as multiple PDFs. That's what it is, where it is right now. Can go back there. Cool. All right, Vicky, I want to know whether the app will be navigating directly from the wireframes and the prototype, or will the code give? What's the code give? I didn't get that part. Can you elaborate a little bit more, please? Nathan is asking, please optimize export options in the future. Yes, we're working on it, and you'll be able to do a lot more in the future. Not only via app, but also via this new feature called Design Specs, so that developers will be able to access this link and extract measurements, colors, text. And we demoed that concept last year at Adobe Max. You can go on YouTube and see the video. And we're working on that. We'll have more news soon. Matthias, Rylan, I understand though you ask. It does not say anywhere yet, but it's Matthias. Okay, you're having a conversation there. Cool. All right, guys. If you have any other questions, please let us know. We're seeing our progress here.
Yeah, I'm starting to build out the filters, and even looking at like maybe there's a better way to kind of use like a check mark or like a slide kind of grid instead of, initially I was thinking it would be like a drop down kind of tab, but it might be more fun to like check off all the things you want, like waterfall or easiest difficulty level ever.
Nice. That's cool.
Yeah, so just kind of going through
and Sallie is designing the wireframes from scratch here, but there are tons of options out there for wireframe kits. So Gus, I don't know if you can post the link, that one that we just released on Behance. Hundreds of assets that you can use. You can go on Behance and look for Adobe XD wireframe kit, and it's really useful, free. You can get it now and start using.
I want to download that one.
Yeah, let's do it.
Quick. Oops.
You can go to Behance, search for Behance, and then let's search for Adobe XD wireframe kit. I think there's a let's see what happens there. I think it's gonna give you like that page doesn't exist, so you can search there. Yeah, you can search for Adobe XD wireframe kit. That's not that. So I think Gus posted the yeah, Gus, that link right there. So
nice.
Yeah, can you go to Behance? That's actually wireframe wires. That the name is wires. So just change this wireframe to wires, and I think we'll show up there. No, just remove kit. And let's see if it shows up there. Just trying to find it. There we go, the blue one.
Woo.
Adobe XD wires, and here you can download the kit. And it has hundreds of assets that you can reuse, and it really helpful. Thank you. So I hope. Yeah, I think Joe is asking if you can define when you draw, for example, rectangle, if you can set the stroke to be something very specific. The short answer for now is no, but you can do what you can do now is you can use Illustrator. You can do that in Illustrator for very complex vectors, and then you can copy and paste assets from Illustrator into XD, and things remain editable and everything works fine. Cool. I was saying he downloaded the kit and it's helping him a lot.
Yeah, I'm looking through it now. And it's crazy.
What do you see there? Can you describe what you're seeing there?
So many things. This is really beefed out. It's great. It looks like, yeah, there's like all these different menus, pop-ups. It's great. So nice. I think, yeah, it's really helpful because right now I'm kind of in that transition phase of my prototypes to going into more detailed UI stuff, and this is obviously super good to use.
Awesome. Yeah, see if you can find the components you want. I think there's one that's called buttons somewhere here, I think. Up there. This one, yeah.
Oh, nice.
And drop downs. I know you have some drop downs.
Yeah. Sweet.
And you just copy and paste into your project.
I'm definitely using these.
Cool. Great. All right. Let's see. Alex Aranda is asking, is there a way to style font like Photoshop paragraph styles? This would be really handy if you have 20 artboards. Yes, the short answer is yes. So let me show you that in action. So let me copy this to a new project. Can I show my screen very quickly? Let's say I'm designing this website, and here I have a couple of different fonts, and let's say I want to use this one and reuse it multiple times. I can select that guy and click here on the plus button on the new asset panel. You can access the asset panel by clicking here. Then I can click plus there, and you're giving me that font. Then later on I can select another piece of text and apply that. What is even cooler here is that if I select the artboard, and because inside this artboard I have multiple character styles, and if I hit plus here, it'll give me all the character styles that are present in this artboard. Very, very helpful. Same for colors, so I can of course select this gray and add this gray to the color palette, or I can select the artboard and tell, hey XD, give me all the colors used in that panel. And the crazy thing and the good thing here is that if I change one color to something different, it will update all the places where that color is present to whatever color you want. So very, very helpful as you design. And this is local to the document. All right, there's another question there. Lex, does symbol linking between files feature coming soon? Or add pages like in Sketch? Yeah, XD doesn't have pages, mainly because you can have hundreds of artboards in one canvas and everything works. So one of the big reasons you have pages there was to handle performance, but that's not the case here. Everything works really smoothly with XD. And the symbol linking between files, so that's not there yet. You have some integration with Creative Cloud libraries, so you can create, for now, you can create character styles and colors in Photoshop or Illustrator and consume them here in XD. So I can consume that blue, and it's now here coming from my Creative Cloud library. And later you'll be able to do that with bitmaps and stuff. Okay, no problem, Alex. Thanks for the question. Let's see here. Julia, every time somebody is writing Adobe XD, I think it's supposed to be animation. Yeah, I think that's funny. Should I give code same like Visual Studio for navigation? I still don't get that question, Vicky. Like, should I give code same as like Visual Studio for navigation? XD is not generating code, and that's not the goal. And you need to. This is really a tool for designers, and developers will be able to access that feature, design specs, in the future to access pieces of information, but it doesn't generate code. Matthias, if you need code to navigate the prototypes, you just wire the screens together and then you start playing with it. So you don't need to have code to interact and make connections there. Cool, let's check on Twitter if we have some projects with Adobe Live for the contest today. So let's see. Sorry, Adobe Live, not Adobe Live. Adobe Live. Okay, my prototype for Adobe contest. Let's see, this is for Bisio. Let's see that. Very cool. Wow, this is nice. Nice onboarding. Are you ready? Yes, I'm ready. I want to continue. Wow, very cool, very comprehensive. Where can I click here? Is it clickable? This section. Oh, I can click on this top part. Oh, I can see the menu. Very cool. I can cultivate my energy. Wow, very, very good. Very, very good. So I'll save this for later. Great job there. I really like the grid that you have in place here, how you utilize fonts. Really like the spacing. It's really nice and well done. Great job. Very good. Cool. So let's see what else is there. Okay, contest. So this is from the previous one. I'll keep it here so we can take a look at it. How to shop. Next. Cool, it's more like a wireframe concept. Very flat. Good. Awesome. Alright, it's here. And the other ones are from the other stream, so perfect. So we have 2 contestants at this point, and keep sending us. So one of these 2, maybe more, will be fighting for 1 year of Creative Cloud all apps very soon. How's it going, Sallie?
Good. I'm just kind of looking, I'm on Typekit right now, kind of looking for some good typefaces.
Nice. How do you like Typekit?
I love it. I use it all the time. Yeah, I'm thinking something. I'm not sure quite yet, but something super clean, sans serif for now.
We have a question there from Lex. When I work on the app, I'd like to separate screens to login screens, setting screens, etc. instead of having a huge artboard to navigate on. How would you handle that? Yeah, so for example, can I show my screen here very quickly? If you see let's see a project that's realistic. This one, for example, you can have areas of your canvas to see something. The boosted one is a better example because you have your website design here, you have your mobile design here in a different area of the same canvas, and of course you can use the pasteboard to add more information for the designer, like notes and things that you need to accomplish. So that's a way of handling. And if you download the UI kits out there from Apple, from Google, they have the same structure. They have different sections and different artboards for each area of the UI kit. Did you pick one? Can I go back to our screen?
Not yet. I was distracted by Ryan's question.
Sallie, do you do your persona research and all those pre-designed studies with and for clients?
Yeah, so normally, Ryan, I do persona research. Not all the time. Some clients don't really need it or ask for it, or they already have a persona like in place already, but it's kind of more helpful for like my process to go through it. And that way you're not so like focused on building out all these features. It's more of a story, and you just kind of walk through the user flow and explain it to the client that way, and they're more likely to understand it if you talk to them in those terms instead of like all these tech kind of terms. So
water for you.
Oh, great. Yeah, so personas are really helpful, and sometimes I'll use them on clients that don't really even know what they are.
Yeah, personas are very powerful, especially like in the research phase, right? Like when you're planning what the kind of app, and you need to validate your hypothesis. It's really good. All right, thanks for clarifying that. Yeah, so what other processes you follow when you design? I was curious about that.
Yeah. So wait, what is it?
What is your name? I see Sallie show.
We're just reading a question that says, I'd love to hear if your design concept changed between yesterday and today. If so, can we see? It kind of hasn't changed. I'd say it's been more fleshed out now.
It's evolving, right?
Yeah.
It started as a very raw wireframe set, and now it's becoming a richer wireframe set with more colors and character styles.
Yeah, it's more of I've just been going through and figuring out all the different filters and kind of the basis of it. But I don't think it's an evolving process.
Yeah. We had this thing, like, we don't finish work, we give up on it, right? It never ends. You keep if you want, you can keep evolving, keep improving it.
Yeah, for sure.
Cool. Wonderful. And your processes, like, as you design, like, can you tell more about that? I was really curious about more the way you work, because this is like a rush. I have 2 hours to do all that. It's not really realistic, but yeah. So what do you use as processes?
So normally it depends, but I guess I'll just use for apps since that's what I'm working on. But normally the first process would be I do a lot of personas, which we already talked about, kind of figuring out like the storyline. Then I'll go into like quick wireframes and user flows really fast, just to like get all my ideas out on paper.
Yeah, we were seeing that yesterday. Yeah.
Use a lot of sticky notes. And from there, it's just kind of you keep weeding through things and iterating things. And sometimes I work really well with other people, and I love to just talk things out, being an extrovert. Even though I'm not talking much on this
no, you're doing
show,
great.
I'm actually an extrovert, guys. So yeah, sometimes if I'm like in a rough place when I'm starting out, I'll try and talk to other people and like just bounce ideas off of them, and I find that's really helpful, because then they bring to more ideas can be brought to the table that you'd never get. So yeah.
Wonderful, cool. That's great to hear. Yeah, let's see here. We have more questions. Yeah, Matthias was asking about my name. Gus posted there, so thank you, Demian. Yeah, you can. Oh, great segue to one thing. I'd like to give you XD socks.
Yes.
Yeah, so we have this amazing Adobe XD socks.
Wow.
And if you want one, please reach out to me and the Adobe XD team on Twitter. You can use the hashtag Adobe XD. Just share work that you had in XD, and I sent out like lots of socks already. Maybe I can send you one too. So, and we also do live streams, separate live streams every Wednesday at 10 a.m. here from San Francisco from Adobe. So if you're interested in joining more like on very specific things on XD, join us there, and we'll be talking about socks as well there if you want to. Cool.
You can never have enough socks. So I will cherish these.
Okay, cool. All right, so moving on.
Yeah, so I'm just kind of fleshing these out, starting to add in a little bit of color. Yeah, I really need to sit down and think through how I want all my filters to look. That's kind of where I'm at now, and I've been referencing the different UI kits, which I think is great. Like a slider
would be nice.
Would be good. But I'm also thinking it would be cool to just have like a check box mark, just to be like, I want this and I want.
Yeah, that's you have checkbox. Yeah, I have one there.
So
yeah,
maybe
cool.
like a combo of slides and checks.
Yeah, everything that's numeric would be like slider, and then if it's just on and off or this or that, then it's a checkbox.
Yeah.
Cool.
Or these are nice. I might like
the radio
those.
button. Yeah. Cool. Awesome. Let's see if we have more questions there. Kevin, can you recommend books about UI UX? Do you recommend books on UI UX?
Ooh. Yeah, I read a lot of books, but I tend to not read books about UX, actually. I kind of prefer going to like workshops or watching people like speak.
Yeah, the internet is full, like YouTube is full of videos on that, right? If you can find a lot of easy information to digest. There, one book that I really like, it's very old but awesome, is The Design of Everyday Things from Don Norman, and we visited Don a couple weeks ago, and it's great to see that his vision back then was like in the 80s is like super popular today, and a lot of companies are using that. So there's no secret, right? So it's like how you can create awesome experiences for people. We are people building things for people, so that's really that's when I really like The Design of Everyday Things.
I would also add on to that all your other interests and things that you like and research and read about, those all come into play as a UX designer. So the more things, like, don't just be stuck in design. I feel like you should plug into all the different things.
Everything that's related to people and behavior. There's another recommendation I'd like to make here. There's a podcast that I hear a lot called the Human Tech. Human Tech. They cover the intersection in between like technology and humans, and they talk a lot about like how the brain works, how behavior is structured, how it can influence behavior. So that's like really, really interesting. Human Tech as a podcast. Susan and Guthrie are great presenters, so yeah, check that out.
Yeah, and I would add on to that a lot of good UX type of books to read. I would say you should even dive into more like psychology if you're into that, or personalities. Those are the type of books I'm really fascinated by.
Same for me. I love that.
I'm reading one called The Charisma Myth, which is so fascinating. But it dives into like what makes people charismatic, and that there's different types, and like Elon Musk is like a really focused type of charismatic, but he's not warm or welcoming.
Yeah,
and that's like his strength, that he's just very focused and intense, and business, so I'd recommend that book. It's not quite UX, but it's really helpful. And
cool. That's great to hear. I'll check that out. Human Tech, as in technology. Human Tech. All right, let's see if I have more questions there. Why it's called as UX design? UX design is research, tests, hypotheses, and verification. How do this? That's a interesting question. I think UX, as Don Norman, like the guy who coined the term, explains, is everything related to experiences. The way humans interact. So it can be, of course, a human interacting with a computer, a UI, but it can also like being the experience of checking in a hotel or buying a car. It's like any experience. So the UX design is the design, the planning, the creation, and all the execution of that experience.
Yeah, that's the basic. It's user experience is what UX stands for.
Yeah.
So.
Awesome. All right, is Human Tech on SoundCloud? I don't know. I checked them out on iTunes. You can search on Google Human Tech, and it's a very good one. All right. Let's see. Can I use texture in XD? Texture as in like bitmaps. So again, we mentioned this yesterday, but we see XD, the product team that's working on XD sees XD as this hub for UX design. So you can bring like high quality designs and high fidelity designs. You can also do them there in XD, but if you really need like complex bitmaps, you go to Photoshop. Then you do that in Photoshop and then bring them in XD to XD. Same for vectors. If you really need complex vectors, then you go to Illustrator and you copy and paste, or you bring them into XD. So that's how we see it.
Oh, nice. Look at that. The slider.
Yeah, bringing in the sliders.
Cool. Drew is saying, I think UX is very nebulous and can have many different meanings and include many different aspects of design, including research and user behaviors. Yeah, again, it's the human aspect of experiences, right? Like anything that's creating or like building and validating experiences.
Yeah, and it's still being defined. I think that's why it's so nebulous too.
Yeah.
It's ever changing, and
I think it also has this aspect of like iterations. In the past, we used to have companies, like huge companies, creating products like in secret, and then later they would just like, oh, this is it, and it was a shot, right? And the iPhone was a great example. Like it did super well, but I think the real secret is, as much as you iterate, as much as you fail sooner you'll succeed, right? So that's how I see it, and I think that's why it's so popular. Companies are not they really want to be more effective. They want to succeed, and to succeed today, you really have to validate as you build something, right? So that's why I think UX is so popular and it's still evolving. And if you keep it human, if you keep it around the people, you're safe, and you keep validating yourself.
Yeah, like you have to keep coming back to actual people and humanity and not get carried away.
It has to look good, but it has to function, right? Yeah. It's a very interesting topic. We can talk about it for like
I know.
hours.
Don't get me started on like.
I love, for example, design thinking. Yeah. And how the brain works. And
I mean, we could talk about this, and I won't design
for
the next couple hours.
Please keep going there. Yeah. Please keep going there. All right, and back to the contest. Just to remember, to remind you guys, we have a contest going on, and if you create 3, can I play the video? If you want to participate, just go on XD, create an app with at least 3 screens. The theme is shopping. There you have talent showing you how to do that. Then you can wire the strings together. You can create a prototype, and once you have your prototype there, you can test. Then you can create a web link. So you go to the share online button on the top right, create a link. You upload all the assets to Creative Cloud, and you get that link. When you get that link, you can copy, and you can go to Twitter. And on Twitter, you use the hashtag Adobe Live and paste your link to the prototype there, and then we'll be checking it out during the stream, and in the end we'll announce one winner. We'll take 1 year of CC, all apps. Amazing. So yeah, hope to see more. Fabricio is asking, how do I get a underline text in Adobe XD? Yeah, that's a great question. It sounds like a very simple feature, but it's very complex because we don't want just like a plain line that kind of overlaps. Let's say it's a P and it's overlapping with the P there. We really want to make sure it's a well done underline. So if you go to adobeXD.uservoice.com and search for underline, you can see that we are working on it. The label there says feature started. We're doing like great progress there, and we'll have more news soon, but it's looking really good, and it's gonna be one of the best underlines like implementations out there so far. So yeah, just hang in there, it's coming. All right, Chris, what are some companies that inspire and use good UX design, small and big? Do you have suggestions?
Ooh.
I have lots in my head.
You go first.
Yeah, we work with Airbnb. They do amazing UX,
They're great.
and they have like amazing design teams. They have a great story on how they're creating a design language that can be reused across teams. And if you can search for their DLS, design language system, Airbnb DLS, you can learn a lot. They're right here. They're great people, and they're doing a great job there. IDEO is really well known for design thinking and all the work that they do in innovation. Also great company, IDEO. Or if you want to learn more like processes and learn about the process, you can go to their D school, the design school at Stanford. They also have like a lot of free materials that can help you learn more about design thinking and how to do better UX. The list goes from there. All right. How can I fix something when I scroll in XD? Kentaro is asking. So far, unfortunately, we don't have fixed elements, but that's pretty much the most requested feature in user voice, and we are working on it as we speak. And just hang in there, it's coming. Stripe, Stripe's a great company that does great UX. Tommy is saying that. Yeah, Airbnb has this prototyping tool called Lottie, animation, like really, really good. Cool, thanks for posting the link there, Gus. All right, let's see here if you have more questions. While I'm reading that, let's see if you have more examples of great companies that do great UX. Adobe is doing a lot there. Like seriously, we have an amazing team of designers and product designers and product managers. Everyone really focused on creating the best UX possible. For example, we're talking about XD here. I'm on the XD team. I was a product manager since the very beginning. And one of the things that we do, we use XD to design and validate XD. So sometimes we have XD as a design inside XD, and we're clicking there, it's not working because it's the design. So it's crazy. We use XD to create XD and validate XD. For all the major features that we have, we build prototypes and we validate with customers. So that's something that we do. So Adobe, another great company that's doing great on UX. Cool. Thanks for posting the links there, Gus. Any other questions, guys, on XD or for Sallie about her process, her nice Hikr app?
It's coming together.
Awesome.
Yeah. Slowly but surely.
How to make border on one side? Yeah, so far the borders apply to all the sides. You can do that in Illustrator if you want and copy and paste into XD. It will work. Elizabeth is asking the difference in between XD and Muse. I can talk more about XD. XD is this tool for design, prototype, share, learning for designers. So it doesn't generate code. It doesn't become a real website. It's the step before it gets to implementation. So like it's like beginners, pros on UX, and then when it's time to develop that thing, then you hand it off to developers. Muse, on the other hand, it generates code. It creates a final website that you can publish. So if you don't wanna, or if you don't have a very good big team of developers, you can use Muse to design and make it happen as a real website, responsive website as well. So different markets, different audiences. All right, what font are you picking there?
I don't know. I got distracted, and now I'm back. I was into the filters. Sometimes I just jump around a lot.
That's good. Experiment.
Yeah, or your brain just needs a break.
What do you do when you need a break? That's another question.
Oh yeah.
Let's say you're stuck on something, it's not evolving, and you need to vent or just refresh your mind. What do you do?
Yeah, I love taking walks. Living in LA It's just you go outside, you take a walk, you get some sun, and you're good.
That's great.
Yeah.
Yeah, it gives your brain time to like just relax. It's a muscle, right? You can relax and get back to it. Cool. Any other tips on like how to do breaks?
Do you have any pro tips?
I also walk around the block. That helps a lot.
Yeah.
I check the news.
Or pet animals. I love to go hunt down other people's animals, and I'll just pet them and feel better.
And if you listen to the Human Tech podcast, they talk about like how the brain works there a lot. And if you want to like understand what's happening when you do that, when you pet a pet, you're producing oxytocin, so it creates that connection so it's like giving good like things to your brain, so like go there and produce oxytocin.
Oxytocin.
To create connection. All right, let's see here. Sarah Bar is asking, how do you differentiate this with InVision? InVision is a tool for creating prototypes. You can get feedback there. XD is one tool where you can do your design, your low fidelity design, your high fidelity design. Then with one click, you jump to prototype. You don't have to export screens to a service like InVision. It's just one thing. And then you can share. You can get feedback. People can go to your web link. They can pin things to things that need to be modified. Say, change the font here, or get all the feedback from stakeholders. Then you can go back to your design within the same workflow. So you don't have to export or do a lot of repetitive steps. It's just one tool with one single workflow for design, prototype, share, learn, go back to your design, prototype, share, and keep that iteration going. One tool. Less friction. All right. Ryan's asking, how do you stay on top of trends?
Ooh.
Do you follow any other designers or artists?
Yeah. Trend. I guess my biggest... Yeah, I tend to follow a lot of people on Instagram and Twitter for visual. Instagram for visual stuff, obviously. Pinterest, too.
I like Pinterest too. Yeah, that's great.
Yeah, I've been starting to use it more and more now. I used to really not use it to hunt down inspiration, but they've like really refined their algorithm now.
Oh my God, they're crazy.
So
yeah, I don't
it's
know.
starting to populate with things I like, which is cool. Yeah, so I tend to find a lot of trends through them first. But for UX stuff, I think it's just by using different apps and things, and
Behance is also a good resource for inspiration and validation if you need to validate your work.
Dribble's great. Yep.
Cool.
I also love, this is like a new thing I've started to do on Facebook. Sometimes I've started to follow like Forbes and Fast Company.
Wow.
And like all the really good kind of like design thinker kind of articles, and that way on my Facebook feed I have like all these great articles to read all the time. So that's kind of how I've been getting a lot of like good
I have another question. Maybe you can help me. When do you stop? Like, because if you want, you can get really like sucked in that world. Like you need to get back to work, you need to do things, and it's very easy to stay like 1 hour, 2 hours, 3 hours just scrolling and getting inspiration. When do you stop? Like, what do you do?
When's the cutoff?
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. I think sometimes it's good to get into rabbit holes, because then you kind of dig into something you'd never really look into ever before. But obviously, like if you should be working, then you might have to put a time limit on it, like 5-10 minutes, then be done maybe. But I think going into rabbit holes should be encouraged.
Cool. Yeah, that's true. Like, and how do you deal with technology? Like, when you go home, do you keep checking things on the phone? Do you disconnect? How do you deal with that? It is addiction, right? At one point, if you let it go, you can get in trouble.
Well, I know this is kind of sad because I'm a UX designer, but I don't have any notifications on my phone.
Oh, nice.
I don't allow any notifications except for my email. But so that's kind of made it easier to turn off.
And have a real life, like a social life.
Yeah, and that way I'm not always checking my phone every time someone likes like my Instagram.
What you guys do, like when you need to have a regular life out of this tech craziness. Yeah, I'm interested in learning more.
Yeah, tell us your tips and tricks.
Oh, Fernando is saying there's a plugin for Chrome called Panda. It provides news and inspirations for designers, developers, and entrepreneurs. Thanks for sharing. Cool. Yeah. Ajo was asking, are you using the MacBook Pro with a touch bar?
Yes, I am.
How you? Yeah, what?
I just got it. So I have a good story that just happened today. So I like the touch bar. I've gotten used to it now. But the only frustration I have is you can't turn off your volume as quickly. So I was sitting here, and the people before me were live, and I turned on my computer and the volume was on full blast, and I like ruined their live stream. And I kept trying to in panicking, I kept trying to turn off my volume and I couldn't because of the stupid touch screen. Yeah. I knew this would happen.
Yeah, in panic mode, it's not very user friendly, right?
No,
it doesn't work. Yeah,
but that's the only problem. You just have to be on top of the volume. And
so if it happens to you, just breathe and relax and think, because if you panic, it's not gonna work. Yeah.
Yeah. Yes, I can vouch for that.
Yeah. Cool. All right, let's see here. One guy, Gus, says he goes outside, fish, great, or hike.
Ooh,
nice.
That's why I'm making a hiking app.
So your app will help people to get back to real life, physical life. Another thing that's super good to talk about, that I kind of I debate all the time. When you go to a concert or where there's something big happening, you see a lot of people kind of pulling the phones and recording or sharing that instead of living that moment, right? Living what's there right there. So I'm forcing myself constantly nowadays to live the moment, enjoy the moment, fully enjoy the moment, instead of oh, I need to share this, instead of feeling that.
To be more present. But then it backfires. I never take pictures when I'm experiencing things, and then I
But that's good.
regret
in my
it,
opinion,
though.
That's good.
Well, I feel
But
I'm coming from
that. You fully lived it.
That's true, but then sometimes I realize I wish I took 5 seconds just to take a pic and then be done, so I can remember, because I never take videos and pics, and then
you're good.
Then I'm sad sometimes.
I need to get better at that.
Yeah, there's both spectrums.
So you can keep doing that, and then you can check the hashtag afterwards of people that didn't do that to follow.
Or just have friends that take all the videos for you.
Oh my God, yeah.
And then you don't have to.
All right, so let's see if I have more questions there. Iser, is there a way to switch autosave on XD? But after reopening project, all the changes were saved. Yeah, so I guess you're on Windows, and Windows 10, the new version, as soon as you close the app, it's more like a mobile app, and we have to save it, otherwise you will lose all that work. So that's what's happening there. But we're working on a feature called visual versioning, and we demoed that last year at Adobe Max as well. So we know that one of the biggest problems that designers have today is creating versions of work. So you have final, really final .psd or something like that. So to solve that problem, we're working on this thing called visual versioning. So if you place your files in Creative Cloud Files, you'll be able to visually go back in time and grab assets from the past.
Ooh.
So that's coming later as well. Kevin is asking, can you add the XD prototype as an app icon on your screen with custom design? As a if you share a web link, there's a way of doing that. If you share a web link and you share that on mobile, and that web link has a thumbnail. That thumbnail, if you add to your home screen using Safari, for example, that will be the app icon. That's a workaround. All right. How to turn it off? There's no way to turn it off. Sorry, Iser. Every time you close an app on Windows, to preserve your work, we save it for you. For now, maybe we do when you have a visual version, you'll be able to go back to the last time you saved. All right. Julia's asking, I will only use hiking app with a funny name like Bigfoot.
She's still gunning for Bigfoot.
Yeah. You got personal. Cool. Someone's up. I had too many files. Okay. First timing, learning. Cool. Thanks for joining us, Arthur. Oh, look at that. Typefaces.
Yeah, I'm just starting to kind of do about, yeah.
Can I see some magic?
Some magic?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Click outside there. So just to now click on, select that text and then click on character styles up there.
Oh, right.
Look at that.
And it does it for you.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
And now if you change that, like if you right click and edit, for example, that specific typeface, for example, click edit there, right click edit and change to like a bigger size, for example 40 to like, I don't know, 50, and hit enter, it changes all the instances of that globally in your document.
Nice.
So you can change a font that way as well.
That's pretty cool.
All right, hello from Dubai. Hey Omar, hello from San Francisco. Varsha just joined and is asking, what software is this the owner using? We're using Adobe XD, this brand new tool from Adobe, and you can get it for free at xd.adobe.com or in your Creative Cloud app, and just look for Experience Design and install it. It's a tool for you to create designs, low fidelity designs, high fidelity designs, jump to prototype mode very easily, creates a prototype, then you can share a link to get feedback, to learn from your stakeholders, from your team, everyone involved, then go back to your designs, make all the changes, and keep iterating. Hello from Barcelona. Hey Barcelona. Jeet is asking, can we do prototype in XD? Definitely, just go to prototype mode and create wires from one button to another artboard. And
I kind of started already doing that.
Yeah. How's that going?
Yeah, so I guess I did that yesterday, but so that's the prototype mode, and I already linked, some of them.
If you're there and you do Command A, it shows you all the wires at once.
Oh wait, here, Command A.
Yeah. There you go. You have two wires.
Nice. Yeah, and then I was messing around playing with it because you can start clicking through.
Nice, and you can have transitions there, slide, push, dissolve, all that. Hey Philippines, hey Ariel. Flavio is asking, what program is that? This is Adobe XD. Again, Gus just posted the link there. You can learn more about it. Kevin is suggesting a font for you.
Kevin, what's your suggestion?
Nivea Pro.
I'm open. I kind of just already picked one, but we'll see. It's probably going to change later.
Okay,
but
cool,
for
yeah.
now it's good.
And using the new asset panel, you can just right click and change that font to the one you're suggesting with one click. So that would be easy later on. Azer is asking, which element supports CC library in XD? So for now, you can consume in XD colors and character styles created in Photoshop or Illustrator or InDesign. Very soon you'll be able to consume also graphics like bitmaps. So if you create a bitmap in Photoshop, add to your library, you'll be able to consume that in XD. And once it's there. If you change it in Photoshop, it will update in real time in XD. So linked and unlinked raster from Photoshop will be possible as well. But for now, it's just colors and character styles.
I lost like my whole side thing right here.
Which side thing? Oh, because you're in prototype mode.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, there you go.
Gotcha.
Yeah, prototype mode really focuses on prototyping, so it's just
all.
wiring things together. And
yeah, I guess you don't want to edit in that mode anyway.
Yeah. Eugenio is asking, why is needed install Windows 10 for Adobe XD? Yeah, Adobe XD is targeting Windows 10 anniversary edition and above, mainly because we're using a lot of new things, a lot of new frameworks to be feature-proof, and the performance is one of the biggest things that we have, and that's why it's Windows 10 anniversary edition and above. Jit is saying, currently I'm using Sketch. It's quite easy and handy. I just want to know about what is the core difference between Sketch and XD. Of course, Sketch is a lot older, so it has a lot more features than XD. But if you care about performance, XD is a lot faster. If you care about file size, XD is a lot better there. For example, if you check the material design UI kit created for XD, the one for XD is more than 10 times smaller than the one created for Sketch. And yeah, just two examples of, and of course Adobe is investing a lot of time and resources on XD, so this tool will keep evolving. So if you care about those things, and you can do prototypes, you can share, all within the same tool, the same workflow. So hopefully there's value there for you. And of course, if there's something that's not there yet, you can even copy from Sketch and paste into XD if you want to. All right, Ahmed says, check out my project. Thank you. Yeah, that's great to hear. Let me see if you have your project there. Share on Twitter using the hashtag Adobe Live. Can I show my screen? There's one here from Kentaro. He wants socks too. Cool. Let's see.
Socks.
Yeah, I gave her socks, Adobe XD socks. If you want one, use the hashtag Adobe XD when you tweet your work, and who knows, you might get one. Cool. This is a very good design, clean. Let's click here. Go back. Let's see if we have 3 screens. Yeah, we do have 3 screens. Very cool. I'll keep this open. Thanks, Kentaro. Let's see if we have another one. I love some socks here. 2 screens. Cool.
Socks.
I'll give them more socks. Yeah, that's it. So these are the contestants. We have 3 so far, and Michael and Sallie will pick one in less than an hour. Cool. Can I go back to our screen? How's it going there?
Good. Just still.
I see you're creating a design system, right? You have your colors, you have your character styles, you have a lot of components created.
Yeah.
That's cool. Some notes, some guidance on like how to use that, the areas.
Definitely, yeah. So just it's kind of like a mini branding tab on the side.
Nice.
Yeah.
Cool. Omar is asking, what's your favorite font?
I'm pretty, when it comes to fonts, I like pretty simple, basic ones, but Century Gothic actually is one of my favorites.
Nice.
But it's always easy to get, and I don't know, it's my backup.
Cool.
But yeah.
Yeah, I'm more traditional. I like Helvetica a lot. I
still like Helvetica.
The
I know
basic
you shouldn't.
ones, yeah. I know.
I like it.
Yeah. Cool. All right. Let's see if I have more questions. Azar is asking, will live mobile preview coming on Windows soon? So far, it only works on Macs, so you have to connect your Mac to an iPhone or Android via USB, and then all the changes you make here are reflected in real time on your phone. And then as soon as you unplug the phone, that prototype or design is cached, so you can do like some user testing. And unfortunately, the Windows platform doesn't support that yet. And the workaround for that is hosting your XD document inside the Creative Cloud files folder in your computer, and then you can load them from your mobile device, and then you can do user testing as well. All right, let's see, what is the name of this music? Venet is asking. I don't know.
It's Andrew Applepie.
Andrew Applepie.
It's an artist from Berlin.
Oh, cool. Berlin, German, cool. Open Sans, also great font from Nathan, cool. Apple Pie, thanks for posting that, Gus.
Apple pie?
The artist,
Andrew
Andrew Apple Pie.
Now I want pie.
Yeah, it's almost
Maybe.
lunchtime here, you're crazy.
There is food outside.
Cool. Any other questions, guys? Any other problems, feedback, suggestions for Sallie, for XD? This is really for you. Ryan saying no macarons this time, Michael.
Mac?
That's in the US.
All right, Proxima Nova, also a great font. Can we still submit for the contest? Yes. You still have 45 minutes, probably 40 minutes, because we'll be using the last minutes to pick a winner. But yeah, try it. Feel free to submit. At least 3 screens. The theme is shopping, and use the hashtag Adobe Live. All right. Wonder if Jordan is wondering if XD is still in beta right now. Yeah, the answer is yes, but beta in XD is a very special beta. All the features that are there are final, and they have the 1.0 quality. So don't be afraid of like seeing beta. It is being used by lots of companies for real work, super stable. And beta is just a label. As soon as we have, let's say, our 1.0 version, we're gonna keep iterating on it. We're gonna have 1.0, 2.0, 3.0, and we're gonna keep shipping every month. So that's just a label. And I can tell XD is really ready for production work. Of course, there are things that are not there. You can use Illustrator for vector, for complex vector artwork creation. You can use Photoshop for really complex bitmap editing as well. And XD is your hub for UX design. Sallie, Ryan is asking, Sallie, what is a number 1 advice you give to aspiring UX UI designers?
Ooh, number 1 advice. I like how Ryan's been on top of this chat. He's been asking all these good questions. Number 1 advice, I say just try and like absorb as much information as you can and get out there and talk to people. I think I've said this yesterday, I think a big part of making a career transition is you need to talk to other people and get them to like review your portfolio or like meet up for coffee and kind of hear their stories. And so I think the like one-on-one interaction with other UX designers, I think that's what's most important if you aspire to do UX.
Yeah, no, I share the same feeling. I think if you can, number 1, never fall in love with your ideas, your work, and today like keep validating, keep learning, have this learner mindset, the curious kid, like keep asking why, keep learning. There's no way you'll fail. Like it will always get better and better and better. So keep learning and be open to feedback.
Yeah, for sure.
All right. Thanks for the heads up, Jordan saying. Let's see, Eliza. The area type still doesn't type on the prototype. What do you mean by that? Oh, the like if you have a prototype, you want to have like a form and you want to add text to it. Yes, that's not there yet. For now, you have to fake that with a screen that has the keyboard showing up. But that's definitely the roadmap. You can go to adobe.xd.uservoice.com and upvote on that. And as soon as these things evolve, now that Windows and Mac have the same features, they reach parity, you'll see a lot more features landing on both platforms moving forward. Varsha is asking, any tips you'd like to share on should keep in mind while choosing a color scheme?
Ooh. Yeah, I know there's a lot of tools for that. Like there's a couple good websites that you can like reference color palettes. I always like to build them myself, and I always kind of reference what I did for this one is I'll reference like a image that I really love,
Like
and just kind of
mood boards,
eye drop the colors from there. So that's what I did for these two. I like pulled from these two pictures to kind of figure out my own color palette. But
Cool.
but yeah, I know that's my process. I use Pinterest a lot. I love color, so
Nice.
to me my most favorite part is making my own color palette.
Oh, nice.
But
Yeah, we're seeing a lot of that here, and we'll see more today and tomorrow, so that's great. First-hand experience. Connor is sharing a link, color.hairpixel.com. There's color.adobe.com.
oh yeah, Adobe has a good one too.
Let's see. Kelsey, the winner of yesterday, is saying, in XD, could you please add the ability to change case on text? Yeah, we're working on that as we speak, and that will land sometime soon. Let's see. There's another link there suggested by Jan. Colorlovers.com. See if I have more questions here on this other monitor.
Kevin, in your response, I'm not making the background orange.
Oh, what was the question?
He wants me to switch the
Oh,
whole...
the green background.
Yeah, that's too intense. And I don't know. Orange, I love orange, but as like a complementary color, not as the whole background. I feel like my eyes would like start twitching
Cool. Good point.
on
Make it pop.
orange.
Yeah. There's also like color.farm. Thanks for all the suggestions. I'll go back to the chat and check it out. There's design-seeds.com. Let's see if we have more. Okay. There you have your P grid. Oh, another thing that landed in XD is the ability to copy and paste appearance. So if you have like a color, anything that shows up under appearance, fill, border, you can select an element, copy, and then you can go to another element, right click and paste appearance, and it transfers that information to the other element.
Ooh, okay. Wait, walk me through that again.
So for example, let's say you want to use that in the distance form there, like the drop down on the first artboard, you can select that rectangle and you can right click and say copy, and then you can go to, let's say the first one, the white one up there, just an example, and you can right click and paste appearance, and it pastes, you should paste it, you should be yeah, there's some like grouping there that's kind of breaking it probably.
Yeah.
It's probably because it was a group, so you have to select the element, try again, right click, paste appearance. There we go, and then you paste that color, everything that's under appearance to the other element. Yeah. Cool. There's another question from D. Can you suggest me something which I can improve on this app? We'll check it out. let's see. More questions? Yeah, Nathan, you can copy and paste appearance on any element in XD. Can I save my common library? Yeah, if you use the asset panel like she's using here, you can add colors, character styles, and of course your symbols show up there, and then that's saved in the document. You can also use Creative Cloud libraries, so you can use Photoshop and Illustrator to create colors, character styles, and consume that in XD as a separate panel. And that's global to multiple documents because it's a panel that sits outside of your document. Milos, oh my god, I don't know how to pronounce that. Milos Wajakzek is asking, pity this Windows, I'd rather not use it than switch to 10. Yeah, you have to use Windows 10 Anniversary Edition to take the best of. Performance is a big one there, and we're using a lot of the new features on Windows 10 as well. Kevin, can we also design for XD, not just saying what we want? What do you mean? You can of course design in XD. You can design, prototype, share, learn, and do that. Cool. What's happening now? You're adding an image to it?
Yeah.
How'd you bring that in?
I dropped it in.
Cool. I didn't see that. Cool.
Is there a way to like move? I know there's a way to move the image, right?
Oh yeah. So if you want that, like if you drag an image from Finder to your shape, it becomes the fill of that object. So there's no way to change it. If you really want to move the positioning, you have to mask it. So you just place the image and the shape, and you select both, and you go to Object, Mask with Shape. Then if you double click, you can edit the position and behaviors of both.
Okay, so I'll do that.
So yeah.
And then drop it.
Yeah, somewhere there. Then you can place the image on top of the or in the back, and then you select both, and you go to Object, Mask with Shape. There we go. Now you can double click, and you can move the image around. You can make it smaller, or you can even change the shape that's masking it.
Oh, nice.
Because it's not the fill, it's like two objects masked. You have more flexibility there. Kevin is asking, can we design Adobe XD app UI too, or share our idea with the XD team? Sure. We're really open. We're on Twitter all the time. So anything you do with XD, please share for feedback. Use the hashtag Adobe XD, and we can interact with you there. Nathan is asking, can we get a sneak peek of September updates? I'll ask my boss. Maybe I'll have an answer tomorrow. But one thing that's coming soon is the ability to, that I can tell, is the ability to, you can create colors and character styles, Creative Cloud library elements in Photoshop and Illustrator, and then consume them in XD. In the future, soon you'll be able to do that with bitmaps as well. So you can create a bitmap in your library. In XD, you drag it from this panel, and then that keeps it linked. So if you go back in Photoshop and you change that bitmap, it'll change in XD in real time. Vladimir, I think my Adobe CC account is bugged. I can find fireworks in there. That's why you have XD. You can use XD for that. Cool. Fernando, is the bitmap already embedded? I mean, I'm going to lose the image if I close XD and open it again. The image, when the image gets to the XD document, it's part of the document. So it's in the document. There is a connection if you use Creative Cloud libraries in the future. That's not available yet, but the image is in the document. It's not linking. It's really part of the document. Yeah, is saying that Photoshop is better for effects for sure, and that's the goal. Photoshop is the best tool for bitmap editing and crazy effects. So the idea is to do those things in Photoshop and bring that bitmap into XD. Fazla is saying he's installing XD for the first time. Good luck, and if you have feedback, please let us know.
Oh my gosh, hi John. John's an old friend of mine.
Oh, nice. Right, I gotta go, but I'll be back soon. So
what?
I'll see. Yeah. Michael will be here. Yeah. But it's looking great.
Cool.
See you guys very soon. Hey, Sallie.
Hi. You're the replacement.
I know. I'm just the B plan. Just a B plan. Hi everyone. Okay, so yeah, update me. Okay, what is going on?
Oh,
what is your app about? What is your next step?
Yeah, so
Thanks, Chris. It's okay.
right now I'm working on an app for hiking.
Okay.
That it's kind of a bridge between like having a paper map and having a digital one. That can that is easily downloadable. So like when you're lost, you have something to like reference or even show you where you are. So that's kind of the basis of it.
Okay.
And yeah, it's called Hikr. We got that name from everyone out in the chat.
From the community. Good job.
Yeah.
Hikr. Yeah, I mean, it's efficient. It's not super creative, but it works. But good job. Good job.
A couple people wanted Bigfoot, but we went for Hikr.
Can be scary.
Yeah.
You don't want to
Bigfoot,
hike if there's a Bigfoot.
or do you? Because then you can see one.
Yeah, and die. So what's the point? Can you run me through the experience?
Yeah.
Zooming in, maybe? Maybe you can zoom in. Yeah, because I'm old, so I need to...
Totally.
Okay, Hikr. Okay, I get it.
Yeah, so this is the initial like welcome screen, and the idea is to kind of go into there to find an actual hike. We're playing with different variations instead of like a drop down, so still have to flesh that out later.
Okay.
And then this is kind of the beginning of the results page for all the different hikes. And then this is like the more detailed.
Oh, about one hike. Okay.
Yeah, there's gonna be I really
With a
want
map.
like a map aspect, and then also like an image
Mapping
from-
pictures.
Yeah, so you can see like what it looks like as well as find it. There's gonna be a description and then like a rating system which
By
would be
the
cool.
community, by the viewers,
Yeah.
by the users. Nice.
And then and then
And a map.
Haven't-
if I
yeah.
tap on the map.
this would be the map downloading kind of screen.
Oh yeah, so I can keep it offline.
Mm-hmm.
Very
That's kind of
important.
important. And then these are just the fun kind of search. Well, I think the search bars are fun inside navigations, but yeah.
Nice.
So that's kind of it. And then I'm just kind of working through like color palettes and the typefaces right now and kind of spicing up the lo-fi versions.
Good job. Okay, so yeah, let me know in the chat who's watching. Where are you from? Just to have a sense of who's watching. I see Josh. I see Reti, Guadalupe, Miguel. Thanks for joining. And Reti is asking you, will you jump to the prototype mode maybe tomorrow to connect the screens?
I already have, so I can show you kind of like the basis of it. I just started with the first 4, but here's like the actual play button, which is kind of fun, and then there you go. So that's the beginning.
This is coming. Ah, with the scrolling. Cool.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we have people from Colombia. Okay. Hi Esteban. See people from the Netherlands. South Africa. Okay. India. Whoa. Right, it must be very late in India. Thanks for staying with us. And Miguel, you're from Brazil. Okay, good to know. Did they create some prototypes? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe.
I mean, oh, did we look through?
Yeah, you saw some prototypes today? Yeah.
I think we just went through like a couple,
Okay.
but yeah.
They did a good job?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
that's
liked
good.
them.
Okay, cool. Yeah. I think there's a new one actually.
Ooh.
Did you see this one?
No.
Snap trips.
I haven't.
Custom works for photographers. Ah, it's funny because it's kind of related to hikes, in a way.
Yeah.
Let's see. Oh.
Box.
Okay, I want to see buildings. No? Oh, I like
Or
nature.
nature.
And I like people, I guess. I want a new route. Ah, okay. So I guess you purchase not a hike, but a photo walk.
Oh, gotcha.
Ah, yeah, and you have the preview. So this is something you were mentioning. Having
Yeah.
Okay, so how do I access the map? Oh, I'm stupid. Maybe if I click on the map.
Maps
Yeah.
are important.
Oh no.
So it's 10 pages.
Yeah. So okay, let me go through the pages. Maybe I missed something. Ah no, all the states. Ah, I see what you did. Okay, so this is just the introduction. But good job. I think we understood the concept behind snap trips. Thanks for sharing.
Thanks.
Ah, we have people from Africa. Awesome. Hi, Carlos. And Kirill from Estonia. From Tallinn. Tallinn, who will also be one of the guests. Yeah, it's not only a city in Estonia. Tallinn is the lead designer of Adobe XD. So he will be live with us, in about 3 hours also.
Oh, cool.
Joe Carter is saying, I've heard that with XD we don't need InVision. Can you demonstrate that functionality? So actually she started to connect to, when she jumped to the prototype mode, maybe you can just add one interaction so Joe can understand what's going on.
Yeah, so here, I guess I'll just add this guy.
So if you click here, then you want to jump here, you can decide about the transition, the duration. And if you want to get feedback, she can at any time share, and it will create a link. So this is the preview, And
How do I get that link though? I've
Yeah,
never
so-
used that.
Oh, I will show you. It's awesome. So this is the very last icon on your right, next to the preview.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, click on this, and you say create link. And now what it is doing is that this is uploading all your assets to the cloud, and you can copy the link, for instance, and open a browser and paste it. You will see what it does. So this is something you can share with your users, your customers, with the community to get some feedback. And now this is working. You can also click on you can scroll, like this is a...
Yeah. Oh, that was the one.
Yeah, you
That
can.
was a scroll
You
one.
can scroll. And on the right, you see there is a comment. This one. Yeah. So on each screen, someone can add a comment and tell you, oh, for the map you should do this. Oh, don't. Maybe you should add a back button. Like they can add some comments. Like, so that's why it's very close to InVision. But what's cool is that if you come back to XD, if you just update something, like anything,
Change, like
Yeah,
a
or-
color.
or text, or anything,
We'll make one orange because
Okay,
they
let's do
keep
that.
asking me to do it.
and you share again. So you click on the last button, and there is update. Share again. You see,
Oh yeah.
and update.
Update link.
Okay, let's make sure it's over. Okay, if you refresh, it will load it again, and if you here we go,
Bam.
and it's updated for all your users.
Cool.
So you can have revisions. Yeah, so that's why we say that with XD you have all in one. Yeah, you design, you prototype, you share, you get feedback, and this is just the beginning.
That's awesome. So it is really a combination of InVision and.
That's the goal, and even if you are in prototype mode, you can still like change design. You can preview on your phone. I mean, there are so many ways to make sure that your prototype will work. So that was sharing. Yeah, sorry, I let you.
Cool. Yeah.
I let you continue. So Kemal is asking, is on Windows and Mac the design different? So we respect the native, what's the name? The native UI components, you know, on Windows. So if there is a way to access a menu on Windows, it should be the same. We'd like it to be like the smart object or vector smart objects. So there is a concept of symbols. Yeah, Isidoro, which works like a smart object in a way. You can check that. And Sarabar, thanks for joining. Does the preview work for anyone with no Adobe account? Yes, Sarabar, you don't have to be signed in to enjoy the preview. If you want to leave a comment, then you need to sign in with an Adobe ID. So having an Adobe ID doesn't mean that you are a Creative Cloud member. You know, anyone can have an Adobe ID. It takes 2 minutes to create an account. Are you using your own pictures? Because I know you're a photographer too.
Yeah, just because it's easier at this point. For now, they're just fillers.
You don't have to license your own pictures.
Yeah,
that's cool.
It's true.
So let me know in the chat if you already have used Adobe XD. When did you start using XD, you know, or tried it? And if you never tried Adobe XD, or if this is the first time you discover Adobe XD, let us know in the chat also. It would be interesting to understand if you ever tried. You know, you are one click away from Adobe XD. And if you're on Windows 7, I apologize. Romulo, you never tried. Okay, interesting. Well, maybe Romulo, you can try. You can download it. It's xd.adobe.com and let us know what you think. Danielle, you never heard of it and you just installed it. Okay, let us know what you think, okay? And Sarabar, you just knew about XD today. Okay, same. Interesting. You never tried but really like it. Okay, cool. Thanks, Sallie, for playing the game and using XD. It's awesome. You inspire some people there.
Woo.
Tiffany, she just installed it yesterday and created your first prototype today. Whoa, awesome, Tiffany. Awesome. Okay, yeah, Isidoro, try to put some details, shadows, blur, like iOS design. So for the moment, she's working on still on the structure, you know.
Yeah,
not at the
that
UI.
Will come later.
This is not the UI design stage.
This isn't finished yet.
But what is cool is that you can drop shadows directly in XD if you want to emulate shadows. And there is also the blur. You know, like sometimes on iOS when there is a pop-up and the background is blurry.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, this is something you can emulate also.
How? Show me. Do you know how?
Yeah.
I'm used to having Demian.
Yeah, with Demian it's much easier. So this is something where I think you can create a shape. Okay, maybe I'm doing something very stupid. And there is a background blur. Yeah. So this shape becomes the mask to make it blurry.
Oh, okay.
So I can move it to the background, you know, like here it doesn't make any sense. And you can decide if you want a light blur or a dark blur. For the UI.
That's very
and then on
cool.
top you can add some elements. And this is directly inspired by iOS. iOS is, you have blur everywhere. I see a red background. What happened? Don't worry, Kevin. It was just, it was a test. It was a test to update the shared prototype.
It's orange, not red.
It's true. It's a reddish orange, we'll say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I did it just for you, actually, Kevin, because you kept asking.
And I see some friends on Twitter updating their prototypes. That's good. So yeah, now you, thanks to Sallie, now you understood that you can actually update your prototype in one click, and everyone can enjoy the new version. Oh, so you are working on a slider. I like it.
Yeah.
I like the two handles.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's good. Again, it's like that blur mask. Oh my god. Yeah, it's very nice feature.
Yeah, that blur is cool. I kind of want to use that on my navigation.
So Jean-Marc Ledoux. I hope you're French, Jean-Marc, because with such a name. Any recommendations on amazing desktop prototyping interactive apps? Desktop prototyping. Oh, okay. So Adobe XD. Yeah, something.
This one.
Yeah. No, but it's. I think I understand why Jean-Marc is confused. Is because we are using XD here in the case of mobile app prototype. But with XD, you can prototype a website. So this is what Jessica and Claude were doing this morning. You can watch the replay. It's available on the Creative Cloud YouTube channel. But you can also emulate a desktop app. And actually, if you want prototype a desktop app, if you stay with us, like 2 more hours, yeah, 2 more hours, we will welcome Tallinn and Daniel, and they are prototyping in Adobe XD a desktop app, which is Adobe XD. Okay, so it sounds weird, but the way the Adobe XD team creates new feature in Adobe XD, they use Adobe XD to prototype the new features.
Nice.
Yeah. So it's a good example on how to prototype desktop apps. Also, Project Felix, which is a new desktop app, has been prototyped using Adobe XD. Okay, if you want, interactive sliders, so they can move. So this is something called micro animations or micro interactions. If you, the mods will share the link, but if you go to user voice, we are discussing with between the community and the XD team about this feature. We have some internal prototypes actually, but yeah. Jean-Marc, you are American, and you speak French. Okay, that's yeah, okay. You're fine. You're fine. Jean-Marc Ledoux. It means Jean-Marc the soft man. Ledoux.
Oh.
He's so soft. Skill Fab is saying, first look at this app. Okay, thanks for sharing. I've been using Sketch for a long time, but keeping it in the Adobe family would be nice. Yeah, this is a feedback that we get a lot from the community, especially since we are working on really improving how you can exchange assets between Photoshop, Illustrator, and Adobe XD. So when we will get everything in sync, and how you can work with other designers in sync in real time, then I think it will make sense. Then you will understand, like you have someone working on a logo in Illustrator, you use it in XD, the designer updates the logo, it's updated in XD. We are working on all these connections, so it will make more and more sense, you will see. But so yeah, it's a good feedback, thanks. Shobaka is back.
This happened yesterday too.
Yeah. This is a small version of Chewbacca because with Claude this morning, I thought that we were having an earthquake.
Oh, really?
I was calling 911. Like
but it was just his stomach.
Just the stomach,
yeah. Yeah. Just be prepared. More is coming.
More is coming. Jean-Marc, I am French. I'm from Paris, but I've just moved to San Francisco to live here permanently. Yeah, thanks. To California, like you.
California.
Did you grow up in California?
No, I'm from Philadelphia. So
it's
Pennsylvania, way east.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm working on my USA geography. So it's under New York.
Yeah.
South New York, but is it on the coast or no?
Nope, it's like pretty close, but it's more inland. But yeah, it's like a less crazy New York City.
Okay,
that's what everyone describes it. Yeah.
But still a big city, I guess.
Yeah.
So when did you move to California?
A couple years ago.
Oh, okay, so it's a recent move. Oh,
yeah.
okay, I had no idea.
So
because your portfolio, he looks so stylish, so
very
so
Californian.
Yeah.
Yep.
Very colorful.
Yeah, but no turning back. I'm done with the East Coast for now.
Yeah.
Very cold.
You're done. Hi, Joe. Thanks for asking. Yeah, this is going very well. Thanks for asking. Oh, I had Joe actually. Yeah, can you share my screen, Chris? Our friend Ibrahim. He's from Syria, but he lives in Dubai.
Oh.
He's a long how do you say, like one of the first viewer of Adobe Live, like one of the first.
Oh, nice.
Always very engaging. He's also very talented designer, and I hate Joe. And he shared with us. So it's another way of sharing your work. So the first way, we produced a website that you can share. The other way, you can record a video.
Yeah, in the prototype mode.
Yeah, in the prototype mode. And this is what he did. Look, and you see the circle moving.
Yeah, so nice.
This is the mouse, but it emulates the hit area of a finger, which is also very good for designer. Because if you have something too small, with a mouse it's easy to reach. But then if you see that the circle is overlapping on another button, you know that your design is wrong.
Yeah.
So it will fail. Yeah, it will fail. Another way is to directly connect your phone in USB and you preview your prototype. Have you tried that?
Not yet. Should we do that?
Okay, I'm thinking about it because you have a new...
Yeah, I have an adapter.
You have the adapter?
Yeah,
for
I do.
Classic USB?
Yep.
And then I need a USB cable for iPhone or something. And we can try that. Okay, let me watch the clock. You know what? We'll try that tomorrow.
Okay, let's do it.
Yeah, let's do it tomorrow because it's almost time.
Because we're leaving.
Sorry, guys. Sorry, people. But yeah, device preview for the win. Actually, it's not device preview. It's the same technology. But if you have a phone, okay, if you want to try this, people who are new with Adobe XD, you can download it for free. The name of the app on iPhone is Adobe XD.
Very easy.
Easy enough. Okay, so what's the plan for tomorrow, Sallie?
Ooh,
More work on this?
Probably I'm going to flesh this out more, really clean it up, and maybe, from there. Yeah. I want to finish it all tomorrow and get like a good prototype so we can do that video thing.
Oh, yeah, let's do that.
That'd be fun.
And we can share it also as a web page with the community.
Oh,
so they can provide feedback. Yeah, let's try that.
I'd like to do that.
Yeah,
so that's the goal.
Awesome. Thanks, Sallie. Thanks for watching, everyone. We will be back at the top of the hour in about 5 minutes with Ashley Carr and the legend, Paul Trani, legendary Paul. They will be back for more UX design and prototype in Adobe XD. And see you tomorrow, same time?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bye.
Okay. Bye, everyone. Thanks for watching.